In recent weeks, Elon Musk's name has once again returned to the center of global media attention. However, this time it is not about Optimus robots, Neuralink brain chips, or even the next generation of the Grok artificial intelligence. All attention is focused on an unexpected statement Musk made during one of the world's largest podcasts, The Joe Rogan Experience. During a multi-hour conversation about the future of transportation and autonomous technologies, Elon Musk suddenly said something that literally shocked the tech community. According to him, Tesla is closer than ever to building the first fully functional prototype of a flying autonomous taxi based on the Cybercab platform. Moreover, Musk hinted that the company is already working on several experimental versions of the vehicle and that a full announcement could come much sooner than analysts expect. After these words, a wave of panic began spreading across social media. Shares of companies working in the eVTOL sector, which refers to electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, dropped sharply. Investors clearly understand that if Tesla truly enters this market, it could completely destroy the position of most existing players. Companies like Joby Aviation, Archer Aviation, and Lilium have been trying for years to prove the viability of air taxis, but none of them possess what Tesla has. Massive infrastructure, millions of vehicles on the road, the most recognized brand in autonomous transportation, enormous manufacturing capacity, and most importantly, artificial intelligence that the company has been training for years through its full self-driving system. Insiders claim that inside Tesla, this project is unofficially referred to as SkyCab. According to several sources close to Tesla suppliers in Texas and California, engineers have been working for more than 2 years on an experimental platform capable of both driving on roads and performing short-distance flights within large cities. Some employees allegedly call the device Cybercab Air. Although Tesla has not officially confirmed the existence of such a project, leaks are becoming increasingly frequent. Analysts are paying particular attention to the fact that Tesla has sharply increased hiring in areas such as aerodynamics, composite materials, and electric propulsion systems. A few months ago, the company began actively recruiting aerospace engineers, including former SpaceX and Boeing specialists. According to Bloomberg, Tesla has also purchased new equipment for testing ultra-light carbon fiber structures. All of this fuels speculation that the company may be preparing something far beyond a conventional car. But the most interesting aspect is something else entirely. If insiders are to be believed, Tesla is not planning to build a traditional air taxi like most competitors. Musk's core idea is to create a hybrid between a car and an aircraft, a next-generation vehicle capable not only of flying, but also of operating on regular roads as a fully functional automobile. In essence, this is a concept that has only ever existed in science fiction films, and Tesla may become the first company in the world to turn it into a real mass-market product. According to preliminary data, the vehicle will be built on the new Cybercab platform and will feature a fully electric propulsion system. However, the real revolution will not be the flight capability itself, but the level of autonomy. Musk is reportedly aiming to create the world's first fully driverless flying taxi that requires no human involvement at all. This means a passenger could simply summon the vehicle via a Tesla app, after which the machine would autonomously drive to their location and then take off to transport them to the desired destination. And this is exactly where Tesla could shock the entire industry, because most current eVTOL companies still rely on either a pilot or a remote operator. Tesla, according to rumors, is betting entirely on artificial intelligence. This is no longer just about the FSD system, but about a completely new generation of AI models being developed together with xAI. Some analysts are convinced that Grok will eventually become the digital brain of the entire Tesla ecosystem, from Optimus robots to autonomous cars and even air transport. According to Morgan Stanley experts, if Tesla truly manages to create a fully autonomous flying taxi, it could become the biggest transport revolution since the invention of the automobile. This is not just a new form of transport, but a complete transformation of urban structure. Imagine a future megacity where millions of people are no longer stuck in traffic jams, where roads are decongested and moving between districts takes only minutes. Essentially, Tesla is trying to build a three-dimensional transport world. That is why some analysts call this project the beginning of the end of classic cars. If a vehicle can both drive and fly, the need for massive road infrastructure will gradually disappear. Even now, architects and urban planners are discussing scenarios in which future cities will be built in a completely different way, with skycab landing stations on skyscraper rooftops and traditional parking areas gradually turning into charging zones for aerial transport. But the more rumors appear, the more questions experts raise. The main issue is batteries. Flight requires an enormous amount of energy, and this is where Tesla may have an advantage over all competitors. The company has been working for many years on next-generation 4680 batteries and is also experimenting with higher-density battery chemistries. Some insiders claim that Tesla is testing new ultra-light battery packs developed together with SpaceX divisions. If this is true, Tesla could gain a critical advantage, because the main limitation of most eVTOL aircraft is flight range. However, Musk has repeatedly stated that Tesla aims to radically improve the energy efficiency of its systems. Some analysts believe that the first skycab could travel up to 250 to 300 kilometers on a single charge, which is already an extremely strong figure for urban air transport. Equally revolutionary could be the control system. According to Reuters, Tesla is already testing a new artificial intelligence architecture capable of analyzing thousands of objects in real time. While for cars, roads and traffic lights are essential, for air transport, the challenge is far more complex, since the vehicle must account for weather conditions, altitude, movement of other objects, turbulence, and even air traffic density. That is why some experts believe Tesla may use the Starlink infrastructure to operate future air taxis, allowing ultra-fast connectivity almost anywhere in the world. There is also a theory that SpaceX and Tesla are already working on a unified navigation system for autonomous air transport. But if the technology truly works, the consequences could be enormous. First, it would heavily impact traditional car manufacturers, because Tesla would effectively create a new category of transport with almost no competitors. It could also significantly disrupt short-haul airlines. Imagine if flying within a megacity becomes cheaper and faster than a regular taxi ride. Some Goldman Sachs analysts already describe the air transport market as the next trillion-dollar industry. According to their forecasts, by 2040, the number of autonomous aerial vehicles in major cities could reach millions. And if Tesla is the first to scale production, the company could achieve an almost monopolistic position. However, there are also major risks. The main one is regulators. Federal Aviation Administration in the United States is still extremely cautious about the idea of mass unmanned air transport. The problem is that existing legislation is simply not ready for the emergence of millions of autonomous flying vehicles over cities. In addition, there remains the issue of safety. Even a single serious accident could trigger enormous public backlash. That is why Tesla, according to rumors, is placing great emphasis on backup systems. Some insiders claim that skycab will be equipped with multiple independent propulsion units and emergency landing systems. It is also interesting that Musk allegedly wants to make the device as accessible as possible. According to preliminary Wedbush analyst estimates, the price of the first version could range from $120,000 to $180,000. However, Tesla itself will most likely focus not on direct sales to private customers, but on a network of autonomous air taxis. In other words, the user simply summons the vehicle through an app, and Tesla earns money from each route. This is exactly the model Musk is already trying to implement with ground-based robotaxis. And if the concept works, Tesla could transform not just into a car company, but into the largest transportation platform in human history. Against the background of these rumors, SpaceX behavior looks particularly interesting. Some journalists note that Musk increasingly speaks about the need to build a new transportation infrastructure for future megacities and even Martian colonies. Many believe that the technologies Tesla is developing for skycab may eventually be used beyond Earth as well. In essence, Tesla is now trying to do what until recently was considered impossible. The company aims to merge the automobile, artificial intelligence, aviation, robotics, and satellite communications into a single system. And if even half of these rumors are true, the world is truly on the verge of a new transportation revolution. But the main question remains unchanged. When will a full-scale release happen? And here, everything is highly uncertain. Even the most optimistic analysts admit that mass deployment is still far away. Most likely, Tesla will show a first prototype within the next few years. However, full commercial operation may only begin toward the end of the decade. There are too many problems: certification, safety, infrastructure, legislation, insurance companies, air corridors, noise, weather limitations. All of this could significantly delay timelines. And knowing Elon Musk, his statements should always be taken with caution. He has repeatedly promised revolutionary technologies within a year, but in reality, projects were launched much later. Still, many experts believe that even if Tesla is late, the very fact that the company is working on such a technology is already changing the industry, because now the entire market understands that the era of traditional cars is gradually coming to an end. And perhaps right now, somewhere in Tesla's closed hangars, a device is being tested that in a few years may permanently transform the global transportation system of humanity. On the background of all the hype around SkyCab, the reaction of Silicon Valley looks especially interesting. According to several American tech publications, immediately after Elon Musk's comments on Joe Rogan's podcast, major venture capital funds began holding emergency closed-door meetings with representatives of aviation startups. Investors clearly understand that if Tesla is truly close to creating a next-generation flying autonomous taxi, the transport market could change much faster than anyone expected. Some analysts directly call what is happening an iPhone moment for the mobility industry, meaning a turning point after which the entire legacy market begins to rapidly become obsolete. Large traditional automakers reacted particularly nervously to the news. According to the Financial Times, inside several German automotive groups scenarios are already being discussed in which Tesla could completely reshape the concept of personal transport within the next decade. If the company is first to build a working hybrid of a car and an eVTOL platform, other manufacturers could end up in a position similar to Nokia after the rise of the iPhone. Many automotive executives fully understand that Tesla has already disrupted the electric vehicle market once, and now the company may attempt to disrupt the very concept of road-based transport itself. According to insiders, within Tesla, this project is not viewed as just another car, but as a new transportation ecosystem. Musk allegedly demands that the vehicle look highly futuristic while remaining extremely simple to use. Some sources claim that the future SkyCab will feature fully automated wings or turbines hidden inside the body that deploy only during takeoff, allowing the vehicle to maintain the appearance of a futuristic car while driving on roads. Interestingly, only a few years ago, Musk himself was quite skeptical about flying cars, repeatedly stating that air transport creates too much noise and poses risks to people on the ground. However, his position now appears to have shifted, and some analysts believe this change is driven by Tesla's rapid progress in artificial intelligence, with the company increasingly confident that modern neural networks are now advanced enough to control complex aerial systems more safely than humans. That is why there is growing discussion within the industry that SkyCab could become the first transport system fully controlled by next-generation AI. Rumors suggest that Tesla is testing a system capable of predicting the movement of objects in the air several seconds ahead, allowing it to react to threats faster than any human pilot. Some experts also believe Tesla may integrate military-grade navigation technologies used by SpaceX and the Starlink satellite network. Against this backdrop, even more dramatic rumors have begun circulating in US media, with several tech bloggers citing anonymous Tesla employees claiming that the company has already conducted early short test flights of a closed prototype at one of its Texas test sites. Although there is no confirmation of this, it is notable that security measures around Gigafactory Texas have reportedly increased in recent months, with journalists observing more restricted access zones, additional closed hangars, and stricter filming limitations. Furthermore, Internet users have pointed to mysterious satellite images showing unusual circular areas near one of Tesla's facilities that resemble landing pads for eVTOL aircraft, immediately sparking speculation that Tesla may already be building the first mini-airports for a future air taxi network. But even more interesting is another claim. According to insiders, Tesla is allegedly considering integrating SkyCab into its robotaxi ecosystem, so the user will be able to summon a regular autonomous cybercab for short trips, or an aerial version for fast travel across an entire city. In essence, the company wants to create a unified transport AI service, where artificial intelligence itself determines the most efficient way to deliver a passenger. This could become a true revolution because Tesla is not only changing transportation, it is changing the very principle of human mobility. Some urbanists are already discussing scenarios in which the familiar traffic jams in megacities gradually disappear, while land prices in cities could shift dramatically. If a trip to the city center takes only 5 to 7 minutes by air, people could live much farther away from business districts. This technology could have an especially strong impact on Asian megacities. Tokyo, Seoul, Shanghai, Singapore, cities where population density already creates enormous transport challenges. That is why, according to Nikkei Asia, several Asian investment funds began closely watching Tesla after Musk's statements, and some governments are even considering creating special air corridors for future autonomous transport. But if SkyCab really becomes reality, the consequences will extend far beyond transportation. Entire industries could be at risk, such as commercial real estate. If people can move quickly between districts by air, the need to concentrate offices exclusively in city centers may gradually disappear, and some experts believe Tesla's technology could completely reshape the economic map of major cities. Another interesting aspect is the potential impact of the project on the oil market. If aerial transport becomes mass-scale and fully electric, it could accelerate the global transition away from traditional fuels toward electricity. Analysts already warn that if Tesla succeeds in scaling an aerial taxi model, long-term gasoline demand could start declining much faster than forecasts suggest. Of course, there is also strong opposition to this idea. Critics argue that flying cars are too dangerous and too expensive, pointing out that even regular autonomous cars still face challenges, while the aerial environment is far more complex than roads. Moreover, many experts believe that regulating millions of flying devices would be nearly impossible. However, Tesla supporters respond that cars and airplanes were also once considered dangerous or unrealistic, and that over time technology became safer, cheaper, and more reliable. Interestingly, conspiracy theories are already emerging around SkyCab. Some users believe Tesla is deliberately hiding real progress to avoid regulatory pressure and competitors, while others think Musk is intentionally dropping hints in podcasts to gradually prepare the public for a future announcement. Attention is also drawn to the possible design of the vehicle. According to concept artists and analysts, the final version could look like a mix between the Cybertruck and a futuristic fighter jet, with sharp angles, fully enclosed wheels, a glass cabin, and Tesla's signature light panels. Some insiders claim it could feature a 360-degree panoramic view, with a fully minimalist interior lacking traditional controls. Tesla will likely aim to make the cabin resemble a future business-class aircraft interior as much as possible, with smart lighting, a voice AI assistant like Grok, automatic temperature control, and even adaptive seats that respond to takeoff and landing forces. In essence, SkyCab could become not just transportation, but a new type of digital space. But what remains most alarming for competitors is something else entirely. Tesla is capable of scaling production in a way that almost no other company in the world can match. If most eVTOL companies are capable of producing dozens of aircraft per year, Tesla could potentially manufacture thousands. That is why some analysts believe that after an official announcement, the market capitalization of many air mobility startups could literally collapse. Elon Musk fully understands the power of the Tesla effect. When the company enters a new market, it immediately attracts the attention of millions of people. And if Tesla truly demonstrates a working flying prototype, the informational impact could be enormous. Some experts already compare a potential Skycab unveiling to the first iPhone presentation or the SpaceX Falcon Heavy launch. According to rumors, Musk is even considering staging an extraordinary presentation event. For example, having several autonomous Skycabs fly directly to the stage with no pilots on board. If that actually happens, it could become one of the most viral technological moments of the decade. However, despite all the hype, many analysts emphasize that enormous challenges still remain. Even if Tesla demonstrates a working prototype, years may pass before mass deployment. The company would need to obtain aviation regulatory approvals, prove the safety of the technology, build charging and landing infrastructure, and convince the public to trust fully autonomous aerial transport with their lives. But Musk does not seem deterred by this. On the contrary, it is precisely these kinds of impossible challenges that have always attracted him the most. Cars, rockets, neural implants, humanoid robots, all of these projects once seemed like madness, and now Tesla may be preparing to take the next step toward a world where a flying autonomous taxi becomes as normal as a regular car today.